Good morning, guys. Welcome to the session, the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. Before we go to the session, I would like to start the session with a nice quote. What is today's quote? You get what you work for, not what you wish for. We all have a lot of wishes. We don't get what we wish for, but eventually we get what we work for. So finally, what matters, what you work for, that's what you're going to get, not what you wish for. A very useful quote. Now, the new course is going to be launched on Unacademy from 28th July. These courses are from top educators and top batches starting from 28th July 2021. And when it comes to SSC, Unacademy is the best platform if you ask why. 30 plus batches every week, 300 plus classes a day, 70 plus educators, 40,000 hours of recorded content, 20,000 practice questions, and trusted by over 90% SSC aspirants. These are the top educators. The batches Team Phoenix, SSC, CGL, and CHSL 2021-22 exams set Brahmastra batch for all government exams, bank and SSC. SSC, CGL, and CHSL 2021 exams. There is a strong lineup of batches starting from 28th July. Here, what are the features? Full syllabus coverage for all SSC exams, top educators of the country, unlimited access PDF, study material unlimited, access to tests, weekly quiz and mock tests, dedicated doubt clearing sessions. And what is the lineup? SSC GD Constable 2021 exam, SSC Multitasking Staff MTS exam 2020, Crack SSC Stenographer 2021 exam, Foundation Batch SSC CPO 2021 exam. And there's a new feature. What is this new feature? Ask a Doubt by Unacademy. What is the Ask a Doubt feature on Unacademy? It's a new feature available to learners who have installed the latest version of the Unacademy app on Android and iOS. How would you benefit from it? Raise a query or doubt, get instant solutions to lakhs of questions, high quality solution in English and Hindi, that is your choice. If the question is unique, subscribed learners get a detailed video solution. Solutions available for SSC exams. And there is going to be a price hike in the month of July, so better to enroll now. There are two offers, July offers, mega offers. One is a set exams combo offer, SSC plus bank. 1 year subscription, you get additional 6 months. 2 year subscription, you get additional 12 months. Unacademy promise offer only for SSC. 1 year, you get 4 months additional. 2 year subscription, you get 8 months additional. If you use my referral code, what is my referral code? Korlapati4 hyphen 5077, you get additional 10% discount. And this is something very important. Every Sunday, there is a combat scholarship test. Unacademy combat scholarship test. You can win scholarships worth 1 crore. All that you have to do, answer 40 questions in 50 minutes, test in Hindi and English, and free live test on Android every Sunday at 12 noon. So all set, let us crack it. Now we'll go to the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. And today's editorial is all about pollution related to the Ganges River. It's all about that. There are related words or lexical terms. Conduit, we have got for the first time. Sewage, we have got many a time. Effluence related. Scourge, a new word. Remotest, hazard, segregation. And today you're going to work on, let's crack it. Today you're going to work on error location, close test, fillers, the slides are missing, editorial words and meanings. Now we'll go to the editorial. Let's see how it starts. The Ganga's message. So here Ganga, the river Ganges, the Ganga's message. There's a message based on what is a backdrop, pollution. And what is the main idea of this editorial? India must take its loss on waste seriously. India must take its loss on waste seriously to stop microplastics pollution. Pollution is a general term, but this article talks about microplastics pollution in the river Ganges. The editorial is all about microplastics pollution. And let us see the words and what exactly the editorial tries to convey. The Ganga might have stood witness to many stages of Indian civilization or India civilization, as Mahatma Gandhi once noted, but in recent decades it has become a conduit for sewage, solid waste, industrial effluents, and other pollutants. There are three words. Here, the word conduit has got two different meanings. One meaning it's a channel through which water passes, one meaning. Another meaning, something or someone that links together either people or countries. So it is like here, it is like a channel. It has become a conduit for sewage. Sewage means waste material and solid waste, industrial effluents, liquid waste. All these, that's right, channel and other pollutants. But the editorial talks about microplastics. It is depressing, though not surprising, therefore, that a new study by an NGO has found evidence of a modern day scourge, microplastics, in the river, with the highest concentrations in Varanasi and Kanpur, followed by Haridwar. As I said, this editorial talks about microplastics. Scourge, an important word. It means something that causes major trouble or a major problem, a source of major problem, a source of trouble, severe trouble. It is depressing, though not surprising. It is not surprising, but it is depressing. Therefore, that a new study by an NGO has found evidence of a modern day scourge, microplastics, in the river, with the highest, where are the highest concentrations? In Varanasi and Kanpur, followed by Haridwar. Yes, you can also use the word curse, but a source of great trouble, literal meaning, a source of great trouble. Another meaning, whiplash, but that doesn't go with this context. But I appreciate that. What the data show is, there's one important word over here, data, datum singular, data plural. But data can also be a collective noun. When we use the word data as a collective noun, we should use a singular verb. What the data show is, here it has been taken as a plural noun. What the data show is the alarming presence of plastic filaments, fibers, fragments, and in two places microbeads, with their composition pointing to both industrial and secondary broken down plastics from articles of everyday use. So, what is the source? The source, obviously, one is industries, the second, secondary broken down plastics from articles of everyday use. And because of this, the presence of plastic filaments, fibers, fragments, and in two places, microbeads. All these are very dangerous for the aquatic flora and fauna. Yes, that's right. These range from tires, clothing, food packaging, bags, cosmetics with microbeads, garland covers, and other municipal waste. All these come under the regular stuff we use, everyday use, the stuff that we use regularly, and eventually they find the way to the river and it results in pollution. Because a lot of plastic is used, we all know that, eventually it becomes microplastics. The finding of significant levels of microscopic particles invisible to the naked eye at below 300 micrometers to 5 millimeters in the country's holiest river calls into question the progress of two high priority, well funded missions of the NDA government, Swachh Bharat to deal with solid waste and Namami Gange to rid the river of its pollution. So this sentence talks about two prestigious projects or missions funded by the central government, the NDA government. One goes with Swachh Bharat, one is Swachh Bharat to deal with solid waste. The other one, Namami Gange, to rid the river of its pollution. That is the Ganges to make it free of pollution. But the sentence talks about a lengthy sentence, the finding of the significant levels of microscopic particles invisible to the naked eye, at below 300 micrometers to 5 millimeters in the country's holiest river. We all know it is that is taking a lot of time. Now that is the reason why I'm not focusing on grammar part. If I go into that, it takes a lot of time because exams are fast approaching. In the past I was doing that. Now I'm not doing it because it takes a lot of time, and here time is very important. Calls into question. That means we have to question that, we have to analyze, we have to question. Calls into question the progress. That means we have to question the progress of two high priority funded, well funded missions. That's what it talks about. To question, call into means to question. Question the progress, call into question the progress of. It is like analyzing and looking at the progress of that. Surprisingly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's support for the river cleanup, originally scheduled to be implemented by December 2020, has not saved it from serious deficits. This talks about the actual schedule. Surprisingly, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's support for the river cleanup, originally scheduled to be implemented by December 2020, has not saved it from serious deficits. But that means what? Some problems are there, and they could not come out of those problems. They could not solve those problems. Official data indicate that 97 Ganga towns may be discharging about 750 million liters of untreated sewage a day into the river. That is phenomenal. What is about 750 million liters of untreated sewage? This results in the pollution, obviously. Untreated, obviously, it results in pollution. An environmental activist, Gurudas Agarwal died in 2018 after fasting in protest, and his letter to Mr. Modi did not change the situation. Very unfortunate. Environmental activist Gurudas Agarwal died in 2018 after fasting in protest related to this pollution of the Ganges River, and his letter to Mr. Modi did not change the situation. Again, the editorial talks about the main idea, microplastics. Microplastics recorded in recent times in the remotest of places, Mount Everest, Arctic snow, Icelandic glaciers, the French Pyrenees, and the depths of the Mariana Trench, the deepest point, among others, pose a hazard as plastics production outpaces the ability of governments to collect and manage waste. So this sentence talks about today microplastics not exclusive to the river Ganges. They are found everywhere. Diverse locations like Mount Everest, Arctic snow, Icelandic glaciers, the French Pyrenees, and the depths of the Mariana Trench. That is very surprising. Among others, these microplastics pose a hazard. What is the meaning of the word hazard? Remotest places also. Hazard means a danger, a risk. As plastics production outpace means go beyond the limit, outpaces the ability of governments to collect and manage waste. Government has a particular capacity, but production goes beyond that, then the government cannot manage. That's what it talks about. Outpaces the ability of governments to collect and manage waste. Successive governments issued waste management rules but dropped the ball on implementation. What does it mean? Many governments issued waste management rules, but when it comes to implementation, they could not implement. Drop the ball on implementation means what? They could not implement the rules, waste management rules. Although the center recently issued a draft to tighten the plastic waste management rules, cities have failed to implement existing rules as well as the solid waste management rules on ending single use plastics, waste segregation, recycling labels on packaging, extended producer responsibility for manufacturers, and recovery of materials. All these go with waste management, solid waste management rules. Although the center recently issued a draft to tighten, the center wanted to tighten the plastic waste management rules. Cities have failed, but unfortunately, when it comes to implementation, there is a problem. Cities have failed to implement existing rules as well as the solid waste management rules. They're not able to implement the existing rules, and also the solid waste management rules related to what? On ending single-use plastics, waste segregation, recycling labels. Sometime back you would see the labels, now we don't see. Extended producer responsibility. It is a responsibility of the producer, but again, it is not being implemented for manufacturers and recovery of materials. Nothing is happening at the ground level. Moreover, growing plastic waste will far exceed the capacity of governments to manage it. Already, this idea has been presented, outpaces. Moreover, growing plastic waste will far exceed the capacity of governments to manage it. On the one hand, it is getting accumulated plastic waste or it is getting piled up, and every government has capacity to a particular limit. It is going beyond that limit, outpacing. Because of that, governments cannot manage. Given that recycling has its limits, one of the reasons for that, recycling has its own limits and we cannot recycle everything. There are certain limitations. How does the editorial end? Swachh Bharat, therefore, must mean not merely keeping waste out of sight. Swachh Bharat, everything should look spick and span, neat and clean. Swachh Bharat, therefore, must mean not merely keeping waste out of sight, achieved through costly dumping contracts, but sharply reduced generation, full segregation, and recycling. One thing it should focus on, but not only on keeping waste out of sight, it should also focus on reducing generation of waste, full segregation. Segregation means separation, and recycling. Plastic waste around the world is threatening the food web. Now, what is the impact of plastic waste or what is the impact of microplastics? This is a $1 million question. Plastic waste around the world is threatening the food web, and the crisis demands a new global treaty modeled on the Montreal Protocol and the Paris Agreement related to environment, climate, all these. So this talks about because of the plastic waste, the impact of plastic waste, the food web is going to get affected. The animals, the plants, so many things get affected in an ecosystem. So there should be a new global treaty modeled on, based on the Montreal Protocol and the Paris Agreement. India needs to demonstrate that it is serious about a cleanup at home. It ends on a particular note. What is that note? India needs to demonstrate, show that it is serious about a cleanup at home. So this is all about the editorial. As I said, there are two dimensions over here. One is it's all about microplastics pollution. The other one, we have rules, we have policies, but when it comes to implementation, there is a problem. That is one thing. And the third dimension, waste is getting accumulated. The governments are not able to manage because there's a limit. The waste that is getting accumulated has gone beyond the limit, and because of that, it is difficult to manage or to deal with the waste. Now let us go to the words based on the editorial. Conjugate a new word altogether is a person or country that links two or more other people or countries. Here it can also be today a bit faster, easy to comprehend. It is a familiar topic, not complicated, and today only 8 words. Usually we get 10 words. Today only 8 words. Conjugate a person or country that links two or more other people or countries. But here it is like a channel of water. Sewage, wastewater, and excrement conveyed in sewers. Effluents, these two go with pollution, typical words or lexical terms. Liquid waste or sewage discharged into a river or the sea. Industrial effluents, usually we say. Scourge means a person or thing that causes great trouble or suffering. Someone has said curse, you can also say curse. Remotest of a place situated far from the main centers of population. Distant, you can also think of the word isolated. Segregation, the action or state of setting someone or something apart from others. But simple, you can remember, segregate means what? Separate. Hazard, a danger or a risk. What are the questions you can think of based on this editorial? What is this editorial about? What has a new study by an NGO found? easy based on those keywords. What calls into question the progress of two high priority, well funded missions of the NDA government? What has not saved it from serious deficits? Again, keywords. What is plastic waste around the world threatening? What is it threatening? Plastic waste around the world. It is threatening that you have to start that way. It is threatening something. Based on the keywords, you can find out. Yes, pernicious. That is also right. Now let us go to error location. Please have a look and try to spot the errors. See, there are a few things I would like to discuss with you guys. One is sometimes I do it very fast. Today I have done very fast. One reason, familiar context, only 8 words, not too many words, easy to understand. Anyone can get connected to this particular topic. In the past, I would highlight phrases, grammar related expressions. Nowadays, I'm not doing it. One of the reasons here, when exams approach, we have a lot of exams SSC in the CHSL in the first week of August, CGL in the second week of August. Students focus more on the exam, and I spend a lot of time over here. Then they will not be interested to spend 60 minutes over here. Because of that, I try to cut down based on the exam dates. Again, we have this SBI mains, though it has been postponed, perhaps in the month of, let us hope, it is going to be in the month of August. So, what is essential? Accordingly, I do it. Otherwise, there's so much to give. And one of the reasons earlier, you would see so many slides related to vocabulary, related to grammar. I would present a separate slide, phrases, all those things. Time is very important. One should always be happy from or with. One should always be happy with whatever one has and should not be greedy. Will you say from or with? You should be happy with whatever you have. Generally, we say that. One should always be happy with. It is not from. Be happy with what you have. Always be happy with what you have. You're blessed that way. Easy one based on prepositional combination. What is this question about? Prepositional combination. Still, I will consider that idea of talking about grammar part. We'll do it. I'll try to consider. Go to question number 2. That's very good. You should be. Question number 2, no one has answered. All these questions are from previous year's papers. You get an idea about the standards, bank exams. Unacademy, I do questions from previous year's papers, SSC exam. Here, I focus more on bank exams, but useful there also. Second part, very good. My friend lost his temper. On is not correct. It should be at. My friend lost his temper at the shopkeeper and slapped him. Oh, lose temper at someone. What is the correct preposition? Lose temper. Lose, lost, lost. For some reason, that's a different thing. Person at someone. For some reason, you can use, but here you should consider the shopkeeper. There is an error, Muni. I have given the answer. Lost temper at the shopkeeper. And I don't know who asked about grammar part. One more thing I would like to highlight. I can see the numbers while doing the analysis. A lot of students they join after the analysis part. That is a bit disturbing and surprising. Now, if you take 60 minutes, my analysis, please all of you listen very carefully. First, you answer this, then I will talk about that. Luxurious and expensive lights were imported from various countries. Very good. Those who have said no error, I appreciate. There is no error. Here you may think the first word, luxury and expensive lights. Luxurious, absolutely right, adjective. Nothing wrong with this, nothing wrong with this. And the context goes into the past. It could be present or past, were imported, past passive voice from various countries. No error, no error. Answer is the fifth option. Now, all of you, please give me 2 minutes. I would like to talk about something very important because you guys should not get disappointed. What happens every day when I do the analysis, I have the screen in front of me, I can see the numbers. The first 25 minutes or 30 minutes, I do the analysis. Analysis. And after that, 35 minutes, practice questions. A lot of people don't join the first part. I don't see the numbers, the first part. And after half an hour, they join. Reading between the lines, it's understood. Candidates or students are interested more in practice questions based on exam topics than on analysis. But in my opinion, why am I doing this? If it is only practice questions, I can name this session mock tests. Are you guys listening? Please respond. Yes, I want your response. How come there's no response? Is it because of time lag or is there any problem? You guys are listening. So, what happens at the outset? Why have I started this? Many students, I tell my students repeatedly, day in and day out, read the Hindu paper, read the editorials. Initially, I would get the response, "Sir, we are not able to read, we are not able to understand, and it is very difficult to understand so many words. We don't have the background information." Based on that, to help the students from English language point of view, I started the Hindu editorial analysis for proficiency in English. It is not for general knowledge, it is not for civil services or IAS aspirants. This is purely for English language proficiency. Because students cannot understand on their own the editorials, I started this. And here, what is important, in my opinion, the first part is more important, not the second part. I got it. I got it. In my opinion, the idea, the objective of these sessions, the first part, not the second part. Second part, I can name it mock tests. I don't have to name it the editorial analysis. But the session title says editorial analysis for proficiency in English. Then you should listen to the when I do the analysis, you have to listen to me and see how I'm using the words, the sentences, the phrases, and what exactly I'm trying to convey, what exactly the editorial tries to convey, how the sentences are used. This is important from the exam point of view. This is what you guys have to acquire. Because you cannot acquire on your own, I started doing that. But I see a lot of students join after the analysis. That is not quite encouraging. The purpose is being defeated. Slowly, what happens if I spend more time on analysis, the numbers come down. I have to cut down and have to spend more time on practice questions from previous year's papers. This is not a good thing. In my opinion, what is important, given the choice, I would like to spend 60 minutes on editorial analysis. That is ideal thing to do. Ideal thing is to spend 60 minutes on the editorial analysis, go deep into it, talk about the content, talk about grammar part, talk about effective English, talk about vocabulary, Complete 60 minutes on editorial, on one editorial. We can't afford to do that. Then the students may not come. They want these practice questions. So that is the reason why slowly I started cutting down, but I'll try to include. I don't want to disappoint at least a few students. Practice questions are only like a bonus for you guys. That is not the main thing. All of you, please remember. If you join at 7:30, you're missing something important that will help in the long run. In the long run, what you need is editorial analysis. That is more important. Mock test, practice questions, not. It is only just to. It is something like a bonus. The most important thing is analysis. Exactly, contextual awareness, a reading skill, and comprehension skill. These are important. Please, thanks for listening for 5 minutes. Please go to question number 4. Analysis is like Hobson's choice. Very good. Who is this? Kashi. I appreciate that. Vishnuvardhan. You are absolutely right. There is no choice when it comes to editorial analysis. In the long run, that will give you the competitive edge. Not all these questions, practice questions. So many sources are there, so many. But English to English editorial analysis, proficiency point of view, English language proficiency point of view, perhaps I'm the only one at the national level. Maybe one or two. I don't know. I don't know about that because a lot of people do Hindi English, or Telugu English. But English to English, that's what you need. They were unhappy because the person who had a palace had no gold, and the person who had gold had no palace. Where is the error? That's true. But there is a dedicated group, about 50 to 60 students. They are there from the beginning. I appreciate those students. Eventually, they will, in my opinion, they get benefited and they will have the competitive edge. Yes, yes. Very good. Who is this? Nagamaleshwari and Sunil. No error. No error. Answer is no error. Very good. I appreciate. No, no, there is no error. Don't analyze the sentence. Please go to the next one. the, not the planet, in our country, Nirmala Mala. I think a familiar name. Fifth one, there is an error. Despite his poor financial condition, the auto driver remained honest and hard work. Yes, yes. Despite his, nothing wrong with this. Very good. Ahmed has got it right. It is not auto driver remained honest and hard work. He remained honest and hard working. We have to use the adjective form hard working. Hard working, yes. I see a lot of students, they have got it right. Very good. Not hard work. Hard work is a noun. We cannot use a noun. We have to use an adjective, hard working person. What is this about adjective? And keeping this in mind, I would like to start separate sessions, only mock tests, and I can spend more time here. Yes, I also smiled. Have you heard what I've just said? Give your feedback. I would like to start separate mock tests every day, one mock test, and we can cut down the time on practice questions over here. We can focus only on the editorials and some based on the editorial practice questions. What do you guys think of that? Have you heard what I said? Today the time lag is more than 20 seconds, I suppose. 4, 3, 4. All the five. Ahmed, very good. Let us go to close test, actual previous year from previous year's papers, actual close test with the options. Despite, in spite of, consist of, comprise, wait for, wait. Who is this? Shankar. Very good. I want to spend the entire time on the editorial, a separate thing, and separately mock tests. That way everyone will be happy. Thank you very much. Private working aspirant. Nice of you. Please go to. You guys should be a little smart. Everyone does mock tests, everyone does previous years questions from previous years papers, but only a few do something related to comprehension skill, vocabulary, and these two are very important from selection point of view. Selection point of view, comprehension skill is a deciding factor, and editorial analysis helps from that particular perspective. 1D, women have, what is, you have to use, yes, undoubtedly. Women have undoubtedly, you cannot say seldom, not, optimistically, perhaps. Answer is D, undoubtedly. Okay, give your feedback, no problem. Go to the next one. Women have undoubtedly made, one is D, already I have said. Go to the second blank. There is no doubt they have made. Why perhaps means element of doubt. Who is this Naresh? Perhaps means not sure. But here undoubtedly opposite. Everyone knows today women are everywhere. And today if you go to the regular classes also, in some batches I see more number of girls. Girls are more, boys are less. A few, fewer rather. Two, I see different options. Don't use numbers, letters. Women have undoubtedly made progress. What have they made? Progress. That is the right word. In the corporate workplace, but certainly not as much as they had. Mention the blank number and the letter option. No one has gone to the third one. E. What is E? Yes. Women have undoubtedly made progress in the corporate workplace, but certainly not as much as they had expected. Expected. You cannot use the word prescribed, informed. They're not relevant. Not at all relevant. Go to the next one. We have new laws, rules, and what? 4C. Easy one. Absolutely right. We have new laws, rules, and policies relating to women in the workplace, but we have not changed much. Is male. What is that male? 4 is an easy one. Policies, obviously. Fifth one is a bit difficult. C. But what we have not changed much is male achievements. No, no. Male behavior. It should not achievements. Achievement doesn't go with this context. It should be male behavior, not male population. Male achievements has nothing to do with women, the progress of women. Male patterns, male hatred. No. Answer is behavior. Go to the next one. Retaliate, not retaliate. Sixth one is underestimate. No, no, no. It should be C. That's right. Who is that? Asha. Sixth one is C. Respect. Women have fallen short in their goals because we respect the potential of the male and feel the need to. Based on that, you should be able to get the seventh blank. Yes, very good. Who is that first one? Vishnuvardhan. Because we respect, we need feel the need to maintain their power, not know the power, not evolve, not absolve, not diminish. Maintain their power. We can abide by. What is the eighth one? Many students have got it right. We can abide them is not correct. Abide is a verb. We can abide by the laws. How? Partially, occasionally, excessively, scrupulously. Scrupulously means what? Scrupulous means having values, morals. Unscrupulous, a negative word, no values, no morals. We can abide scrupulously by the laws. We can abide them. Them is not the right word. We can abide scrupulously by the laws and rules we create in order to. Here you need an adverb. Adverb, a positive word because of abide. Abide by the laws. How? Scrupulously means with values, with morals. Exactly. Answer is the fourth option, that is D. Perhaps you guys haven't read the sentence properly. Overlooked, huh? Yes. We can abide scrupulously by the laws and rules we create in order to. Then it is easy. Understand the context. Context is very important. Unscrupulous elements of the society. If you read the newspapers, you come across the expression unscrupulous elements. Means what? Bad elements of the society. Not share, assure. By doing that, we can abide scrupulously by the laws and rules we create in order to assure women an equal opportunity in the corporate workplace and still not. What is the last one? Still overcome. Yes. E is the last one. And still not overcome the problems that afflicted and eventually capsized the women's raft. E is the answer. That's all about close test. Has anyone got all the 10 correct? A close test like that, if you get 7 or 7 plus, you should be very happy. Yes, yes, overcome. Not C. E. E is the answer. 6 is also good enough, not an easy one. 7, 7 plus, you should be very happy. 8, 9, Renika says 9 out of 10. That's very good. Then Nayak and Sheikh Khali, 8. 8 is also pretty good. So many students have got 7, 8. Now let us go to the last slide. Conjugate, what is the meaning? 1F, noun. What is F? Great suffering. No, no. Something that links. C is the answer. Sewage. Sewage also noun. Waste. So it should be D because there's one more that results in confusion. Effluents, again noun. Effluents means liquid waste or sewage. Here you have to write G. Yes. No, no. Second one is D. Third one is G. Scourge means great suffering, source of great suffering, curse. You can think of that word also. A remotest, an easy one. Distant, away from the heart of the city. Hazard, an easy word. Danger or risk. And what is the last one? Segregation, separate or distinguish. That's all from today's editorial. Thanks for being with me and have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. I will see you on Monday with another editorial analysis. Thank you very much. Do remember to subscribe and share. And there's a Telegram group. All that you have to do, click on the link. After the session, I will provide the PDF. Try to download